This will not be your standard supply drop video filled with all the zany reactions. Rather, I'd like to spend time talking about supply drops, a bit of a commentary type style. That being said, I will be opening a lot of stuff here today. Obviously no COD points because I do not wish to support that, and I don't see the appeal in them, not the least bit tempting. As you can see, I've saved up a crazy amount. Aside from one supply drop in a tiny live stream 2 weeks ago, the last time I opened anything was mid-February. You can see it right there. So I have some 1900 Cryptokeys, the 20 rare supply drops they give to season pass holders, which is basically an extra 600 there, so total of 2500 Cryptokeys here, plus the 20% or whatever you get back in bonus keys from the rare, plus redeeming duplicates, and not even counting the 2 weapon bribes from having the season pass and the special contract. We'll be here for a while. There have been many updates where they added in new gear and weapons and so on that I haven't done anything about, just let them roll by. I was gonna make this video last weekend, but I knew another update was right around the corner, being Tuesday, and even though they only talked about the contracts in Blackjack, as I figured, that update brought 2 more melee weapons and these energy weapons, a pistol and shotgun. Whoop-de-doo. I'm very surprised they went with energy weapons. I don't personally hate them for the sake that they're energy weapons, but come on, everyone is yelling about how they don't want futuristic Call of Duty, and they add in energy weapons to an already disliked supply drop system. I find that weird. Anyway, it's time to go ahead and open these because with every weapon at max level, I need something new to grind up. With that, to start things off, I will open 1 weapon bribe now, so I have something to cling to and be happy about, and then I'll open the other bribe at the end, so there's something to look forward to. I don't really care what I get here today. The new things would be neat, I suppose. Until recently, I would have said the Marshall 16 was the most OP thing here. It was nerfed, thank God, but I'm sure it's still pretty good. Maybe that Rift E9 pistol thing is the problem gun now. What I want the least would have to be the interdiction rifle, because it seems kinda bad, and I'm sure I'll end up getting it to max weapon level eventually. That would be painful. A melee weapon is most probable, but our first weapon is... Yep, I see him. Ah, the brass knuckles. One of the oldest things in here. I think that was the first wave along with the wrench and butterfly knife. Wouldn't have minded the butterfly knife, but the brass knuckles are kinda meh. Kinda plain compared to everything else. Oh well, it'll be fun to run around with those. Maybe there's someone out there who wants the brass knuckles more than anything else and they hate me right now. Alright, well, time to start powering through these and get to talking. I felt like I needed to update my opinions on supply drops and what they represent, because a lot has changed since I said anything about them. And on the internet, even though my opinion is always evolving, the only thing people know is the most recent thing I publicly put out there. I would like to be clear, everything I say here is how I really feel. I never feel like I need to jump on a bandwagon. In fact, I usually try to oppose the flow and argue against whatever the masses are circle jerking about. If you understand everything I attempt to communicate, I think you'll see that I'm not hopping aboard any COD hate train. Also, this shouldn't be taken too seriously. This all isn't a big deal. It's just a video game. We should all put that in perspective, look out the window, take it all in. Yeah, the bulk of the video is about the supply drop controversy, if you want to call it that. Uh-oh, hate incoming. But I really hope people don't get too worked up about this stuff. With all the crazy things happening in the world, both uplifting and depressing, remember that we're talking about supply drops here. I was just watching all the E3 stuff, of course, last weekend, and that tends to flee with some positivity towards gaming and all the cool stuff that's happening. At least it does for me. Carrying that mood forward, I don't want this video to be all somber and, oh, the state of Call of Duty and gaming as a whole is dire. Microtransactions are ruining everything, and you need me to tell you this for some reason. I appoint myself as the prophet to lead us to salvation. With these upgrades, you never stood a chance. Not that prophet. It is unfortunate that a lot of people want to get worked up about things. Many people seem to like conflict and controversy. Maybe the fact that this video had supply drop in the title was enough to trigger some people, but I don't like conflict. I don't play Black Ops 3 a ton, I bet I will more after I get these weapons, but I enjoy it, and I wish everyone was enjoying themselves. Most people would want a happy community around the game they play, and that's one of the reasons I hate what they've done with supply drops. They're making it so easy for people to hate COD. Call of Duty has already been a meme of a game for years. A lot of people buy it, it's crazy popular, and yet, at the same time, it isn't popular. It's cool to hate. It has been for a long time, before the microtransaction age, and before exos were a thing. It was cool to hate. It's Call of Duty, the arcadey and increasingly less military and more cartoony shooter game where numbers pop up on your screen for every kill. That right there could be a valid reason for you to hate the game. But it isn't a real reason to hate on the game. It's just a different style of shooter game, which a lot of people like to portray as more childish. Battlefield and Counter-Strike give 2 different experiences for different players. Hopefully that makes sense. You can personally hate the game for that reason, but not hate on it. It's just not your cup of tea. Other people like it, and you should realize that and move on. But when COD adds in these stupid weapons to only supply drops, that's a real reason to hate on the game that you would otherwise enjoy. Stupid weapons, that's what they are. Stupid. Activision, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Why would they do this to the game? It seems so short-sighted. Yeah, they want to make money, so they give an extra incentive for some poor suckers to drop their money on these things, but they surely chase away even more people who leave the franchise never to return. They have the numbers and stats on this stuff, not me, so you'd think they know what they're doing, but no matter what, having the world talking about how they hate your game, even if a lot of people still buy it year after year, that isn't a balance that'll work forever. They have to care about the popular opinion on some level. Eventually, it will all come crashing down once the culmination of complaints reaches a critical point, and we're seeing that right now with the hate on the Infinite Warfare trailer. So even though I haven't always personally hated supply drops, I was never really as mad about them as everyone else seemed to be, I've always hated that they're doing it, because it is very obviously turning everyone against them, and I wish that wasn't the case. I mentioned how I haven't always hated supply drops, and that's true. Now I'm starting to really come around, and I can explain why for both of those things, and I think it'll make sense. Throughout Advanced Warfare with all the weapon variants, and now Black Ops 3 with the weapons they added in, I didn't really care that much because of the type of player I was. I'm the challenge hunter type. I enjoy completing stuff, leveling up, learning the ins and outs of the game, just bettering myself both in terms of skill at the game and my character in the game. I play it like the arcade shooter it is, I suppose, so the luck-based weapon system was a fun little side thing for me. It didn't bother me if I got killed by a speakeasy in AW or an FFAR in Black Ops 3, and I didn't happen to have one personally. Even though that doesn't feel very fair, words do not express how little I cared because I don't care about my KD or win-loss. I wasn't playing with a competitive attitude. I'm playing for whatever ridiculous diamond gear there is to achieve. I don't like the system because I can recognize the unfairness and why people would hate it. It is stupid that luck and luck alone can influence your ability to play the game better than other people or get to try out entirely different weapons, but I didn't feel strongly against it myself. Then I began going for wins, especially 50 free-for-all first place finishes, which is generally not that tough. I can handle myself in a free-for-all just fine. Most games when the headset and the sweaty triad class is on, I may only die a few times, or at least have a very comfortable lead. But sometimes I'll run into another sweaty triad in the lobby and we'll have to battle it out. When I care about winning, and it's a close game, and I'm fighting hard to get this win, I feel like I need it for a challenge, dying to the bullshit that is the Marshall 16, for example, is very annoying. I know it was nerfed now, which is a step in the right direction, but the entire time I was dealing with it, it was a source of frustration when it appeared. I haven't had the time or ability to study the new Marshall 16, but for the purposes of this video, I will point to the Marshall 16 as the most viable weapon in supply drops. Just go with me, even though it was finally nerfed. It serves as a good example. Perhaps now the Rift D9 energy pistol thing might be taking that place now for best supply drop weapon. It looks good, but that's an early impression. I haven't used it. I think it will be very awkward to use, or at least I hope so. For one thing though, even if they aren't crazy OP, and okay, that is the Banshii right there, the new energy shotgun. Wow, that is quite the find. Alright, we got the new thing. One of the weirder weapons, no range limit, but the projectile is super slow, so it is awkward as hell to use. Feels more like a launcher in that respect. I think it's crazy OP against kill streaks right now too, so hopefully they fix that quickly. Alright, that should be interesting to level up. Thank you, Lord Vondi, and let us continue. I was just saying that even if they aren't crazy OP weapons, this stuff, like that shotgun and the Rift D9 and the Marshall 16, they have no equivalent in the game. I could also throw in like the NX Shadowclaw being like them. But take the FFAR, just use a rapid-fire HVK, and you have a very similar weapon. The MX Garand, just a semi-auto rifle competitor. I'd take the Shiva over that thing anyway. The Garand just shoots a little faster and has the whole challenging can't manually reload mechanic. But the Marshall 16, I'll narrow down and just go with that one because I've known it for longer. What were they thinking adding a thing like that to supply drops? The thought of, oh, this might make more money. Yeah, but there's an exchange there of increasing profit, supposedly, and messing with the balance of your game and your fans. It may make people leave entirely, turn against the game, turn other people against the game. Those people are no longer going to be around to buy more COD points for the next waves of items that they add in. I doubt that it really increases sales that much more when they add in an unfair weapon than it would be to just add in any old weapon. I'm sure they didn't plan for it to be unfair, but I'm just saying there's nothing that is even like it. The people who buy these COD point things probably just want the new stuff and would buy it anyway, even if it didn't include bordering on OP stuff. I am exaggerating to make my point. The Marshall 16 did not completely break the game or anything, and I think it would be an okay weapon if it was in the game regularly, even in a DLC pack. But I hate it every time I see it because it is an exclusive advantage for the lucky. If I had it, I would feel a little guilty using it because it's not like I earned it, I was just fortunate. In fact, here's an over-dramatized clip of what's running into a Marshall 16 player might feel like. Oh, hello. Yeah, you just keep running. Yeah, it's called Dead Silence. Have you heard of it? Hello? Son of a bitch. Of course he fucking wins. He has a shotgun in his pocket. My aim is terrible. I wonder if he's still here. Fuck, dude. You can't win a gunfight against that thing. I have Dead Silence. He's obviously gonna be camping out the same spot because he's a nomad and they'll do. Yeah, there he is. What the fuck, dude? That right there is why it's unfair, because it's a fucking secondary. If he was winning up close with a shotgun, I should be able to win at longer fucking range, but since he's not in a primary fucking weapon, I get fucked everywhere. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. She has it too, what the fuck? Alright, took a little break after that last game. Imagined myself in a frozen forest. I'm very calm now. That's where the spawn location is. Get wrecked, bud. We can do it. Just hold down mid. Hold down mid. Stay away from that guy. That guy has Marshall 16s. It's going okay. It's going okay. That's the guy right there. A couple of his bodies lined up. There we go. What? Every time I use active camo, everyone disappears from the map. Are you kidding? Oh, please no. Please no. Yes, okay. Oh, those are mine. Fuck! Dude, don't do this with the Marshall 16. I had the lead for so long. That's how easy it is to shut down the Annihilator, a specialist weapon. And he comes out of nowhere! He's going to be behind. Fuck, dude! That is an exact recreation of what just happened. It's still within reach. It is within reach. We can do it. Just hold him off. Just get away from the middle area. Nope, that's it. That's it. He's in there. He's about to get someone. He's about to get someone. You might think I should just leave the lobby, but no, he is going to lose this time. He is going to lose. The volume is turned up. I can hear everything. Nobody will sneak up on me. Come on back to the middle like you always do. There you go, Mr. Oceanic Firebreak. You are not winning this time. Neither are you, Seraph.
Enforcer kill.
Would you look at what I found? Oh, who's gonna win the game now? It's me. It's me because now we're on equal ground. Bop. Oh, isn't that great? Doesn't it feel good? Bye. Nope. Stealth, speed, and surprise. Bop. Wow, it's almost like the game got a lot easier after I picked up the Marshall 16. And guess who quit? The Firebreak guy. I guess people don't like it when you take their Marshall 16 and use it against them. What do you say to the Marshall 16? You say no. Oh my god, why weren't you still reloading after killing the other dude? This game makes no fucking sense. Whose idea was it to put that in the supply drops? If I lose this game because of that fucking person, oh my god. Oh god. Oh, who missed? You missed. That's right, you missed. It's mine now. It's mine now. I win the game. I win the game. Who wants to come fucking challenge me now? Oh yeah, you, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, oh you came back for more, huh? Well, now I have your weapon. See how it feels. Oh, what's that I hear? What's that I hear? Someone coming. Oh, you're not learning your lesson, are you? I'm in charge now. I have the Marshall 16. Is that another person I hear? Oh, it is. Good thing I have the best weapon in the game. Oh, you came back a third time. Oh, you're just not getting it. You're just not getting it. It's the Marshall 16. You can't come challenge. Oh, look at that. How does anyone lose with this gun? Oh god, we both missed. We both missed. That's a problem. Oh, hello. Oh. Oh, you want to rejack? Okay. Oh, hello, sir. Well, it's too late for you to do anything. I'm sorry. I've nearly won thanks to whoever it was that delivered me that Marshall 16. Pop. I think that person quit. Damn, I want them to stay so I can take their Marshall 16 again. Finally, revenge. I know what you have, bud. I know what you have, and it's mine now. It's mine now. Nobody can touch me. Nope, you can't touch me. I have the Marshall 16. It gives me a shield power. Oh, pop. There we go. There we go. Fuck, dude. I thought they fucking nerfed that shit. Apparently it's fucking easy to compensate. You just use two of them at once.
Nomad down.
No, fuck! That is totally what happened. Not exaggerated at all. Anyway, it isn't a fun thing to have these weapons put up to pure chance, and while I always understood that it was a dumb thing to do to the game and I could sympathize, now I can empathize more than ever. What sucks is that I see so many ways they could have done this well. I think we've talked a lot of negative, how about some positive, how about some fun ideas? I should propose some of what I think they could have done to still encourage people to buy their COD points and not made everyone so rightfully pissed off. Black Ops 3 launched with cosmetic-only supply drops, and that was great, a breath of fresh air after the variants of Advanced Warfare. This is now a fun side part of the game again. The earn rate was slow, but whatever, that made the gear you get out of there even more rare and exciting. Who cares if it's slow, because nothing you get in there can change the game. Like a lot of people, I really wish they kept going with the purely cosmetic trend, even if that meant they came up with crazier and crazier ideas. They already have titles, emblems, gear, gestures, taunts. The whole melee weapon thing was a great idea if they kept the same stats as the regular combat knife in terms of recovery speed and lunge range and all that good stuff, which not all of them are the same, by the way, but if they did, those are all really cool. I remember when the butterfly knife update came out and I spent all my Cryptokeys the night before that. I was bummed out as hell, but excited for future melee weapons. Yeah, that didn't turn out well. Anyway, how about going further? Crazier customization. Make grenade and equipment skins. A lot of people are going to say, well, that's really stupid, because it kind of is, but I think it's better than the weapons. And we're already going to crazy town with the dabbing characters and all that. Need I continue? As long as everything functions the same, go crazy with the skins. Give me a holy hand grenade frag grenade. Give me a Semtex skin from an older COD game. What if they had entire score streak skins you could use? What if you could replace your Wraith with an old school Hind that does the exact same stuff? Same health, same damage, same AI, but it was a Hind, damn it. That would be awesome. Actually, that'd be hard because the Wraith does the whole cloaking thing. Well, what if you could have a mothership with a custom paint job or a theme? All score streaks could receive custom paint jobs and camos, even if the models don't change, like an HCXD with racing stripes. Can you imagine calling it a golden Wraith, a golden GI unit, even a golden care package, golden wraps? What if you could replace your wraps with those insanity elementals, the meatball things from zombies that clearly bear some resemblance to the wraps? I would rather pay to try to get a crazy rare drop where I can call in zombie meatball wraps that go wreck everyone, rather than pay for a tiny chance at some weapon that may or may not give you an advantage and make you feel guilty for having it, because not everyone even can. You get the idea. And with weapon skins, they could go crazy making weapon reskins that are the exact same thing as a base weapon in the game, but change the weapon's appearance completely, like if they reskinned the Kuda to look like an MP5, or if there are licensing issues there, just choose a different look and go with it. They could reskin LMGs to look like older World of War guns with new sounds and reload animations and all that, but in reality, it is the exact same stats as the good old BRN and Gorgon and whatever. Instead of the FAMAS being a different weapon, they could have made something just like that be a cosmetic replacement of the HVK with the same stats. How about specialist weapons? They could all be rare drops that encourage people to buy up COD points, but it's all cosmetic, so much fewer people can get mad about it. Give me some camos for the Purifier. Make the Ripper glow red instead of whitish blue. The Scythe, Tempest, Hive, Gravity Spike camos. Imagine all of those in shining gold that match your hero gear if you manage to get that epic drop. Back to replacing weapons, have epic drops where you can replace the Annihilator with some old westerny Magnum, replace the Tempest with a Wunderwaffe model, replace the Purifier with an old M2 flamethrower model or something. But pause, would you look at that, the Skull Splitter has appeared. That's an interesting melee weapon for sure. I like it, I like it. I can't even picture what a camo looks like applied to it for some reason. Can't wait to get dark matter on it. Very cool. Where was I before that? Replacing specialist weapons, right? Well, maybe they don't want to replace those weapons because they want the specialist weapons to be very unique and tied to the character. So if not replaced, then the camos still seem cool. I want a golden Annihilator, damn it. I know all my ideas I'm just listing off here will receive a mix of that is very stupid and that might be cool. They're not all great ideas, but that is just what me, one random player of the game, was able to think of in 10 minutes. I really think you can do so much crazy stuff with the game that is only cosmetic and doesn't piss a large chunk of people off. You can still make weapons like they have been, the MX Garand, Shadowclaw, Marsh 16, and just throw those into the DLC map packs. As long as they're properly balanced, those can be purchasable separately, and they're given to Season Pass holders. Not ideal that they're behind a paywall at all, but I like that compromise more than what we have right now. At the very least, throwing all those ideas in the garbage, the weapons that are in supply drops right now should be directly purchasable with Cryptokeys at the black market. So if you want to save up 500 of them and buy your favorite melee weapon, you can. But no, unfortunately, none of that has happened. The closest they have come to meeting us in the middle and showing some pity is throwing these weapon bribes to us and now these contracts, which I do appreciate. They're a neat addition, but it doesn't fix the existing mess. So far, instead of any of those cosmetic ideas, They went about adding weapons into the drops in a way that seems kinda manipulative depending on how you frame it up. It would seem that they lulled everyone into a false sense of security to not hate the supply drop weapons as carefully as they could. At first, before even the beta, the words Black Ops 3 will have supply drops scared people into instinctive hate mode after AW, but they comforted us and said, no, it's alright, see, there are only cosmetic items in here, take a look. You can earn them through gameplay and get character customization, titles, gear, taunts, gestures. It's okay. Who would be mad about that? Then the COD points came. Of course, they want to make some money on their game. There's money to be made. Sure, whatever. That's the monetization model of games these days because people like to gamble and be surprised more than they like to just purchase their favorite items directly. So at that point, pay to win alert, you can buy supply drops. No, it's okay. These supply drops are all cosmetic only. If people want to throw their money at that, that's up to them. So there's no problem with that. I think it devalues... Hey, what do you know? The Iron Gym appears. Another melee weapon. Alright, cool. Another kind of plain one, though. Same animation as the wrench. Nothing crazy about it. Like that new teeth weapon and the buzzsaw. Interesting stuff. I like the cooler animations. Like the carver has a hole in the handle so you can spin it around. Some of these weapons I bet I already have leveled up to 2 or 3 because I pick them up and use them when I find them. Okay, that's cool. Back on topic, I was just saying about how buying supply drops when it's cosmetic only isn't a problem. I think it devalues what you get out of them because they become less interesting when you see like a black market gear set. You don't think, wow, you must play a lot or you got really lucky. You don't know that anymore. It could be like, wow, you dropped 50 bucks and got that stuff. Cool, I'll keep my 50 bucks, thank you very much. COD points weren't a bad thing back then, though. Then, finally, the weapons came a bit after the COD points to minimize backlash, even though there obviously would still be some. A lot of people like to spam pay to win, and to me, when I see that, I feel like, okay, never mind, we'll get back to that. The L4 Siege, dude. What? A minute after the Iron Gym? Well. My main impression of this thing is that it breaks the mode safeguard. The daily challenge for 3 safeguard wins took hours for some awful reason because my team seemed to always be a bunch of bimbos camping in unhelpful parts of the map, while the enemy team had 3 people with XM53s and 3 people with the L4 Siege. Our robot is online. Hostiles disabled our robot. Terrible. Alright, well it's nice to have that in the arsenal, even if I will feel like an arse every time I pull it out. Very cool. Back to the pay-to-win comments. I do not agree, and I feel like there's a good chance that person didn't really think about what it is they're saying, pay-to-win, and that maybe they're just echoing something that they heard, trying to sound intelligent, which, let's be honest, that's most of the internet. I would not call it pay-to-win, because the amount you would have to pay is insane for one of these decent weapons that are mostly not OP. But it is luck to advantage, which in some ways is even more annoying. If the game launched with the COD points and the weapons in the drops, rip sales, rip COD, you wouldn't need the Battlefield 1 trailers for people to be saying that. But they played it the way they did, and it seems like it was very planned out and on purpose. At the end of the day, that's what businesses do. They try to get money out of people, and that isn't inherently evil. But usually you do that by having happy customers and not what appears to be some sneaky maneuvering. Whatever, everyone who pays for these things does do so voluntarily, so like I said, not evil, and it might not have been planned out like that. If you get anything out of this video, well, 1, don't freak out about issues like this, don't be irrationally mad, just take a level-headed, logical look at whatever problem there is, don't get into a mob mentality rage, but aside from that, may I offer you some advice, all of you. Don't buy these things. I've had some people say that they bought some and didn't get anything that they wanted. And on one side, I feel bad for you. Like, damn, I wish you got something out of that. You guys that are still watching this video at this point care about me for some reason. Some guy saying things on the internet. And I think that's cool. And it makes me also want to care about you. So I really do wish that guy who left that comment had better luck and got what he was after. But at the same time, just don't buy them, man. It's a bad deal. The odds are terrible, and the big dream payoff. What is it? Woo, you got the weapon you wanted. Was it worth the money? Are you gonna play with it for a few days and then kinda move on? You can't resell it like a CS skin. You can't transfer it to the next COD game for some kind of credits when the life cycle of this one comes to a close. The value is just not there, which is why I say I've never been tempted. I really would not pay anything to open these. If they dropped the price for a supply drop from $2 each to 10 cents each, I would still not care enough to pay, because They're fun, but there's just no return on investment ever. They don't have much value to me. I am obviously not their main target market, but that's where I am on this thing. We're pretty much wrapping up here. We got that etching SVG. We got 10 keys though, okay, so we got one more. I really doubt unless we get the big 30 bonus key, we're not going to have anything else. Caterpillar. Good old Caterpillar. Yeah, we got 8 keys and that's it. Nothing else to burn. We're pretty much done here. And as we come to a close, we have our final weapon bribe at long last. And it is going to be... Oh god. Oh my god, dude, the Rifty 9. I saw the pistol shape. I didn't know which one it was going to be. We got both new energy weapons in this. Are you kidding? Well, that is why I save up for a big update like this one. I would have never gotten this stuff if I only had a couple hundred saved. And that weapon bribe came in clutch. You see, most people opened those right when they got them, but no, you gotta save them. Was I lucky here? I definitely think so, but there was a lot of time and planning that went into this too. Alright, we were treated very well here, walked away with the 2 energy weapons, the L4 Siege, and 3 melee weapons, the Brass Knuckles, Iron Gym, and Skull Splitter. The only weapon I had before this was the MX Garand. For every part happy I am to have this stuff, there's an equal part guilt though, because I'll just make other people be like, damn, I wish I had that. Well, not like I can share it, and it's not like I'm super proud of it, it's not like I earned it. If there was some super tough mastery challenge for these weapons, that would be cool, but it isn't, and I can't say, well, work harder and you'll earn it too. No, there's no guarantee ever. I just got lucky. Yep. Of course, there is way more that I doubt I'll ever have unless they make things directly purchasable with keys. The list goes on and on. The Shadow Claw, Marshall 16, HG40, FFAR, and another dozen melee weapons, and I'm sure they're not done adding yet. Whatever, no complaining from me. We did quite well here today with the drops. I was thinking this would be the final BO3 supply drop video. It seems fitting. You guys can let me know if that should be the case. I will, of course, be earning more keys as I level these weapons up, but I just think the time of supply drop openings is long past. For a lot of people, this is a negative aspect of the game, and YouTube is already very saturated with it. I don't think I need to add to it. I still enjoy Black Ops 3. I would like to reiterate, this weapon and supply drop thing doesn't ruin the game for me. And if tomorrow they said, Infinite Warfare has supply drops, that wouldn't surprise or scare me. People would love to be triggered and worked up when they hear supply drop, and I would continue to facepalm at COD, because that would be a very stupid thing for them to announce. Everyone in comments and Twitter everywhere would have a great time laughing at that. Hashtag RipCOD. But even if Infinity Ward said that, looking at it rationally, it doesn't ruin what COD is for me. I would think it's dumb, I wouldn't like it, but ultimately I'm not super passionate against it. I will continue to view COD the way I do, which is as not something super hyper competitive oriented. Thank you for watching, everyone. They could have done some really cool stuff with cosmetic personalization that, in my opinion, would still encourage people to buy COD points while not turning the entire vocal section of the player base against them. I think that would have been cool. Make only cosmetic stuff being put behind the luck wall, put the weapons in DLC packs, and everyone can be, well, not happy. Everyone is less mad, because let's face it, it's Call of Duty and it's going to space. Lol, RipCOD.